Hi, it's Dean, and this is our first episode of Whiskey Dean. And filming tonight, I have my beautiful wife Natalie behind the camera. And so, I guess most people won't know me, but I'm not. We're going to talk about whiskey, obviously. But I'm not a whiskey expert by any means. I just enjoy drinking whiskey like average Joe, anybody else enjoys drinking whiskey. My palate is not really refined. I kind of just like drinking what I like drinking. So right now I kind of like drinking stuff that whiskey that has more flavor. But oddly enough, right now the whiskey that I'm drinking that I found is kind of this fine here, and you can see it's almost gone. It's a Divorce actually, which is a kind of affordable brand, but it's a Japanese blend, and this is actually a really smooth drink. So normally I drink stuff that would be considered more spicy or more peaty, but this is actually really smooth, and I kind of like it. So anyway, that being said, on today's episode I have a couple of guests that will probably be regulars on that I'm going to introduce. And so over here we have Ben and Ben, and one of the Bens is my son. I think you can guess which one is my son.
I knew it.
And oddly enough, one of the Bens drinks and one of them doesn't. So the one that doesn't is kind of just here for the comic relief or the entertainment value, and I guess we'll let you figure out who that one is. But so I don't really have a format for the episode. We're just gonna kind of drink and see what happens. But we were at the liquor store the other day just shopping for a whiskey that we wanted to try on camera, and like I said, I was like, Divorce, they kind of make some interesting stuff. I thought Divorce was all kind of crap at the beginning, but this one is actually pretty good.
He said, I thought this was trash, but it's pretty good.
No, but that one is actually really good. Yeah, I guess because, they, I don't know what kind of process they do in like Divorce, what part Divorce takes in distilling it, but it's called Japanese, and yet it's considered a Scotch, which means that it's distilled in Scotland, so I don't know, but it's good. Oh, but this one I found at the liquor store. It's another Divorce, and just because I'm on the Divorce thing, I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. So this one is a Caribbean smooth, like this one is a Japanese smooth, but it says that it's finished in a rum cask, so I'm expecting a little bit of a sweeter finish to it, but we'll see. First time tasting it. First time one of the Bens will be tasting it. And we'll see how it goes. So this is my glass, this is Ben's glass. We're gonna take it neat. So neat meaning not watered down, not on ice or anything. We're just gonna drink it and see how it goes. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Thanks.
So, huh?
Alright.
Awesome.
So yeah. I'm gonna try.
here's your shot.
I'm gonna try and make sure I measure it out evenly, just so that none of us really ends up getting too plastered or anything. But again, we'll see. Let me put this here. Here, I don't know.
Sure, I don't know.
So, how's it smell?
Smells like whiskey. How do you like that?
It smells like.
Same time?
Is it like sweet or what? Does it smell sweet? Like some of them, they do smell sweet, right?
How come his name doesn't? How come his glass doesn't have a name on it like yours? I'm
Well,
gonna say Ben.
when he's on the show for 10 episodes,
And you
Then
get
you
an
earn a
glass.
glass. Then you earn a glass.
Ben 10 this
and
one.
then
We
you'll,
gotta make it
you'll,
correlate,
you'll
you
earn
know?
a kitty cup with your name on it.
Oh, thank you. So I'm gonna be doing juice reviews while they're doing the whiskey reviews.
Should I get you Capri Sun?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Do we cheers or?
no, so what do you think? Smell first. What are the notes that you're? Again, we're not whiskey people.
I'm not a whiskey
It's just
person,
like
but I
whatever
enjoy
comes to
whiskey.
mind. You say it smells like alcohol. It smells like alcohol. I don't know.
Definitely smells
One
like
more time.
alcohol.
No, I definitely think it does have some fatter, sweeter notes. It does seem like it's gonna be more fattier or butterier on the palate.
Oh,
right? No.
I think I'm
I
drunk
mean,
just
'cause you
smelling
can-
it,
you can-
bro.
You know, like so like next time we should do for comparison like a spicy or something, and you'll really
Yeah.
see the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, if I could compare it with something else,
Yeah.
probably.
It smells good.
Okay, so we'll try it.
All right.
Just sip it. Yep. You don't have to shoot it or anything, but let it go around in your mouth and feel it, taste it. So I can say, yeah, for a fact that it is smooth. It's a smoother of the whiskeys that I've tasted. What do you think?
Yeah, smooth. Yeah,
What makes
good.
it? What makes it?
I agree.
What makes it smooth to you? Like so say you were taking like a tequila or something. What would be the difference?
I just don't like tequilas in general, so. But I feel like
Like, is this something you could drink, or is it something you'd have to
it
mix
kind of
with?
tastes like a Johnny Walker, like Blue Label or something.
Yeah, so Johnny Walker Blue is actually a blend where this is actually a blend also. So with a blend, it's hard to tell what you're getting. But with a blend, so there's differing opinions. Like a single malt is just a single from like a single barrel. A blend is obviously a blend of different ones. So there's different opinions. People are kind of like snobbish as to where like, oh no, I only drink single malts or I only drink scotches from Scotland or whatnot. But in general, if you can do a blend, just like you can do a blended wine, you can make the flavor your own, right? So whatever flavor you're trying to produce, you blend until you get that flavor. So a lot of time blends are actually pretty good. So I think when you're drinking, whether it be wine or whiskey or whatever it is, you drink what you like, right? You're not gonna drink just because I'm a snob and I want to drink this scotch that costs $20 a glass or something. But I definitely think yes. From me tasting it, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have as much flavor, which I kind of don't like. It is easy to drink, I think, which can be dangerous. But yeah, I think it does have a little bit like you can feel that fattiness. It like sits on your tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have more to say maybe after the 10th episode.
After the 10th whiskey.
Yeah, 10th whiskey.
Maybe on the
It's
floor.
so good.
You should have just chugged it and be like, so we're just gonna sit. Oh, my bad.
So right, I mean, whiskey being a hard liquor, like some people will be like, well, we're just gonna shoot it or whatnot. If you go out with your friends or whatever, oh, we're just gonna shoot the whiskey or whatever, which is fine too. But if you're gonna shoot your whiskey, you should probably go with something a little bit cheaper. I don't want to say like it's crappy stuff, but usually you're gonna do something like a Jack Daniels or something like that.
Yeah, that ruins it for me though. Like as soon as I start shooting a whiskey, then I won't want to sip it, and then that kind of ruins it. So if it's like a good whiskey, I'd rather never shoot it.
It's like to me, like when I go out to a restaurant, I kind of feel like I'm getting. I mean, the amount of whiskey that you get compared to say like a beer or something, that's a lot less, of course. But I think I'm getting more for my money, honestly, out of it. You just have to be able to enjoy it, so you kind of sip it or through the night. And actually, that's why I actually prefer it on the rocks, and you'll find out why. So we'll do on the rocks next. I don't know if you want to dump it or if you want to finish it or.
Oh, yeah, I'll finish it.
Okay.
Yeah, because on the rocks you get more liquid. I
Yeah,
guess.
you are going to
over
get more
time.
water, but the water adds to the flavor. It enhances the flavor.
Let me see this bottle real quick.
Yeah.
So what's your review?
Wait, let me tell a story real fast. So the only time I've ever drank whiskey like from scratch, like like from the bottle or like just by
From
itself.
scratch? You know,
No,
something
no.
from scratch?
No, I mean like just from the bottle, like not mixing.
You drank it straight from the bottle?
Yeah, I was by myself. This is back
Wow.
COVID, we're not doing nothing. So I just want to talk about this bottle real quick. So what it failed to do was they should put something in the back that talks about the process, like it's used in, like what I'm saying, like talk about how it's made.
Right, some bottles do, right?
Yeah, but this one should definitely do it, or like just bottles in general. Because when I was drinking the whiskey, it was proper 12, which is not like the best whiskey, but it had this amazing
Wow,
description. No, but
I like
Conor McGregor?
yeah, Conor McGregor, that's my guy, but it had an amazing description about the hints that you were talking about the hints earlier, right? I talked about the hints of vanilla, this and that. So while I was drinking it, I was reading it. I was like, wow, this
Oh, yeah,
does
you
taste
kinda know
really
what
good.
to look for.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
But this one, all it says is government warning. Like it should have talked about.
That's
the,
how you know
the
this
process.
is the real stuff. There's a warning
You're
on
supposed
the
to
bottle
figure it
rather
out.
than the description.
Yeah, okay, that's how
It's
you
on
know
the
it's
front.
real.
It's on the front.
Oh, it's in the front.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but it's like. Oh, I guess so.
I
It's
guess
like
it's a spoiler.
it's like 2 sentences. But anyways, that's my input coming from the guy who doesn't even drink.
Is it try it? You like it?
Yeah.
With the label.
No, so I think I don't know if is Proper 12 a blend. I think it's probably a blend, most likely. So I don't know if it just describes the flavors or the process that is made, but I mean in general, I mean a blend, you're gonna take, you know, other whiskeys that have been distilled and blend them to the flavor that you want. So I mean there's good and bad to that. I mean you can customize the flavor, but also every batch will likely be different because it's a blend, right? So you have slightly different notes with each batch. I mean in general with a single malt that's the case too, depending on how it's aged and the barrel and stuff. Every barrel is different. But anyway, so you good?
Yeah, got one more here.
Is it like progressively tasting better every time you take a sip? Or it just tastes the same?
The same.
Wrong answer.
And yeah, so as I was saying, like for myself, I prefer on the rocks, and I think it just allows you to enjoy it a little bit more, taste the notes a little bit more.
What is the is notes? Is it like a flavor, like a term for a type of flavor?
I guess. I mean,
Like a dimension
I actually
of flavor?
did. Yeah, so I actually did. I used to do wine tasting in the past, but I mean, not like I was good at it or anything like that. But that's something I was trying to get into, and so at a certain point, I took a class on it. So there is some terminology that you use, but again, I mean, you use whatever terminology you feel comfortable with. So like, yeah, a note is like a flavor. What flavors are coming out at you, you know. And so I'm gonna like, I mean, the idea is that like you rather than just making it cold. So adding the coldness also will change the flavor. But rather than just making it cold, you want some of the ice to melt into it, so the water goes into it. And in fact, at some whiskey tastings, they'll have like a eyedropper of water, and then so you can change the flavor by each drop of water.
Wouldn't that just weaken the flavor?
Yeah.
Or does it actually change it?
No, it makes a difference. We had a flight one time.
Right.
Yeah. And it actually brought out like the sweetness.
Oh wow.
I believe so. I mean, you judge for yourself as you go through more and more whiskey tastings, and you see the difference between taking it straight on the rocks, or maybe we'll even do that one day. We'll put the eyedropper of water, and we'll see how it affects the flavor.
We also have the smoker.
We have a smoker too, so one day we
Smoker
can try smoked whiskey.
Oh yeah, never tried that before.
But anyway, so the smoky flavor, they call that peatiness, and it usually comes in naturally from the barrel that it's aged in. So like more charred barrel will impart more what they call peatiness to it. But a lot of people consider that smokiness. Some people think it's bitterness. Some people really hate it. There's some really good peaty whiskeys that I could recommend. And like I said, normally my palate prefers a peaty or a spicy, and again, as we go through the different whiskeys, I'll explain more as to what's peaty and what's spicy. But yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and try this one. This is already kind of I do think it's on the sweeter side or the smoother side, but so we'll see what this does, if it brings more flavor or if it waters it down more. You know, we'll see. Oh, and the reason why you smell like a wine or a whiskey is because what they say, 80% of the flavor comes from the smell, right? So that whatever you smell, whatever the notes are that are coming through your nose is going to impart into the flavor.
Yeah, I've been like breathing out my nose after, because my brother told me that's what you're supposed to do. But I don't know, is that what you're supposed to do? Like take a breath and drink it and then breathe
I have
out?
not heard that myself, but
Because you kind of taste it when you breathe out your nose, you know.
That is true. You'll have that flavor in your nose, or you'll smell it. But I would think that you would take it in through your nose. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert, so maybe that's what the experts would do. Okay, so we're back. We've been kind of sipping on this whiskey with ice in it. What do you think, Ben?
I like it more.
Okay.
No, it is,
So why?
it is a little bit.
Is there more flavor, or is it because there's more water in it?
Or is it just a chill factor?
Cold maybe
Sometimes
even
the
too, right?
cold is good.
Yeah, no, it tastes like it's not harsh. It doesn't sit in your mouth the same way,
Right.
and
So
it's like kind of sweeter maybe.
sweeter, right? See, exactly. So that's the main reason why you're gonna add ice, because something that's really sharp or bitter or too peaty or too spicy, it's gonna take that little bit of an edge off of it and make it more palatable, and allow you to kind of sit there and sip your whiskey over the evening and kind of just enjoy it, you know. And that's why I prefer the on the rocks.
Do you like it like these kind of ice cubes, or you know how they do the big ice cube?
So that's a good question, actually. So personally, so I have the one that makes the ball of ice. I've used it, and they also have rocks.
You also have that in the freezer.
Wait, what do you mean
Right.
rocks?
You can
They're
freeze
actually
rocks
stones. They're
and
whiskey
throw them
stones.
into your whiskey. But
Wait,
why?
ice.
Like the
ice
water's
is-
on
No,
the
it's
inside, right?
rocks.
No, it's a rock. It's literally
So
a
so what's the
gray
problem with that?
Square rock.
You don't get the water dilution.
Right, there's no water that's
Yeah.
gonna come out of that
What,
rock.
what do you get? Rocks.
You get rocks, right? You just get you chill your
It's
drink.
Chills
for
it.
people who want it chilled without altering the flavor.
Yeah, so that's for the people who want it neat but they want it cold.
Oh, why don't you just
But-
throw it in the freezer and then just
Right.
dump it?
So that's you're absolutely right.
No, I just-
So there's a couple of ways to serve your whiskey, and neat is with nothing in it.
Mm.
And if you want it cold and neat, you'll store it in your refrigerator. If you want it cold with a little bit of water, you'll do the shaken, right? Like the martini shaken, not stirred or whatever. Put in the shaker, mix it around. It'll impart some of the water into it, and you'll pour it in.
They're looking for you, man.
I'm not.
what
I'm
are
not
you-
violating
no.
probation. I'm not even drinking.
They said they do it
Okay,
for
so-
the show.
You said this wasn't live.
On the next episode, the Bens will need to talk about themselves a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Is it coming?
The disguise works, bro.
Cannot tell.
This
I
guy's
almost
work
was
like
like-
they went away.
They said not us, not them.
No, that's awesome. Here, let me smell it now. Yeah, it smells like something was added to make it a little watered down.
That was ice.
That, my friend, is the freezer.
Ice. I've heard about this before.
Not the drug.
No,
Don't do drugs.
Obviously, don't do drugs,
Don't
guys.
do
Don't sell
drugs.
drugs. Anything drug related, stay out of. You know.
Must be 21 and older to
Yeah.
enjoy.
The thing is, though, I'm just thinking like either the whole ice cube is in there and all of it is exposed to water, and like, or like you have like those rocks, or like the rocks that are like, or not the rocks, but the spheres that have like water
Right.
inside.
Right. So getting
So-
back to that, right, depending on what you're using that ice for, right? So like the rocks is just to chill your thing. So if you
Mm.
want it neat but chilled, you use
I
the-
still don't get
But
the
what
rock
if you
thing.
wanted to like control the amount of melting? Like you could have like a mine sphere. You know what I mean? Like a bunch of holes in the sphere, and then like
Shh, quiet, patent pending.
yeah. I'm just thinking.
Oh, that's a
if-
good idea. Like with the sphere, like
and
the,
depending on how
and
big
then
all the holes are, is how fast it would melt into the whiskey. So you could actually
Mhm.
control like the melting rate depending on which cube
Right.
you use.
So you
I don't
get
know.
to-
Hey yo, why
Instead
is
of-
that so smart
Instead
though?
of just like the whole ice cube in the water or none of the water touching, you know.
And then the amount of holes could be how much water
yeah,
in it.
how fast it melts.
Oh yeah,
into
we
the-
got it.
So okay, so
yeah.
that's a good idea, but so I'm gonna tell you why I don't like the ice sphere.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's not as much surface area exposed to the whiskey,
Mm.
so you get less water. If you want less water, then that's a good idea.
Mhm.
If you want more water, then I kind of like this way. But there are places who will they'll serve like crushed ice, right? And it's
Mm.
like that's ridiculous
Mm.
because it'll just like water
It
down
dissolves
just like that, right?
Like, right away.
So I do like good chunks of ice, and then it melts at a good rate.
Mm.
I mean, so if your ice sphere melted faster and let out more water, then I think that would work. But otherwise, the ice sphere itself, I don't feel it lets out enough water over time because it's just like one huge
Yeah.
blob of ice. Yeah, so it actually melts slower.
Interesting.
And so if you were to time release it, it would melt even slower, right, than that. But I mean, that's just my personal opinion. So I mean, there's a product for everybody, and I'm sure somebody would appreciate that.
It makes sense though. It melts slower.
It
Yeah,
does, just
yeah.
because there's less surface area that's being touched by the liquid.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually prefer this. I mean, like, I don't know, like these size chunks or whatnot, ice cubes. Even like if you do like ice cube trays, I think ice cubes are actually really good. Again, everybody has different opinions. There's no right or wrong answer. Whatever you like is what you like, right? So like, we're not whiskey snobs here. If you like drinking it this way, that's fine. If you like drinking it that way, that's fine.
I like that.
Whatever you like is what you like, and I think that's the right attitude when you drink alcohol, whiskey, wine, or whatever. It's just that you should enjoy it with the company that you have, enjoy it with good friends, with your family, right?
Yeah. But so I just want to clarify. So if I got a can of Coke right now, and I started mixing it with this whiskey, there'd be no judgment.
So, anyways,
No, I mean
we're
seriously.
gonna have to cut.
Seriously, there would be no judgment. I mean, it's whatever you like is what you like. You drink what you drink. I'll drink what I drink, right? But I do think that if you're gonna mix whiskey, just like if you're gonna mix tequila, right? You used to be a tequila drinker, but if you're gonna mix, you're gonna use the cheaper stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna use something that you like to drink straight. So there's a difference. So if you're gonna drink your Jack and Coke or whatever, you probably will use Jack instead of a higher
Higher-end
well,
whiskey.
not like divorce is higher, but I mean,
Yeah.
if we had a high end whiskey there, you wouldn't drink it with like your Yamazaki 18, mix it with Coke. That like
Yeah.
people would be like flaming you right
Yeah,
now.
but
right?
that-
Maybe that's the move. Maybe.
That's the move, though. That's when you know. That's when you know you're a boss. You're
Against
like,
the grain.
yeah. Let me get the Yamazaki and the Blue Label mix it, and then let me put some Coke
And then
inside.
you should drink it with a straw too. On top
Yeah.
of it.
And just slam
Okay,
it.
when you get your YouTube channel, you do stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Whiskey Dean said no, not on my channel.
Cancel.
Not on Whiskey Dean. No. Okay.
So Expo 2's go. So Ben Sakai's no longer allowed to come on the show anymore after we talked off camera.
Episode 2.
He's not making the 10, guys. Sorry. Like, best
You're
for
not getting the custom glass like me.
yeah.
All right. So anything to add? Any parting notes here?
No, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, I'm
it's-
honored. I'm honored.
No, you guys are gonna be regulars, so no worries.
Okay.
until we know more famous people. But there's nobody that's more famous than Ben and Ben.
Yeah, let's go.
NIL.
Yeah.
Halava area.
Yeah, over here. Yeah, in this house, there's the most famous people.
So yeah, nothing more to add. I think we're good. Thank you for joining us here on Whiskey Dean, and I hope you have a pleasant evening.